What's up guys, this is Aditya from Titan Coding, and in today's video, we will be doing some web scraping. Basically, what web scraping is going onto the web using code and gathering information from websites that you want to gather information from. So today, we will be gathering some prices of Amazon products. So first of all, I'm gonna import a few number of libraries. So first of all, we have to import requests. Import requests, and then so that's basically one of the libraries to get like the HTML and the data from the website. And then we have to do do the import of the main library that we will be using, which is Beautiful Soup, which is basically going to be the library that does most of the web scraping. So we're going to do from BS4, which is Beautiful Soup, import Beautiful Soup. And then we're going to need one last library to parse the HTML, which means like go through the HTML and find out things that we need, which is LXML. So we can import LXML. So these are the libraries we need, and if you don't have them, you can always do pip3 install and then the library name. So that's how you get these libraries if you don't have them. Now we need to have a URL for the product that we want to look up so that our web scraper can find that URL and go into the web and scrape it from that specific URL. So I'm quickly just gonna pull up a product I have here, FIFA 21 on the Xbox One, and we can just copy the link here and then go back to Visual Studio, and we can put it in the save it in the URL equals, and then in quotations we can paste our URL. So here I have the URL for our FIFA 21 Xbox One video game. So we will just be using this as an example. You can use any URL that you'd like as long as it has a specific price and title and it's from Amazon, because I'm going to be teaching you how to do it for Amazon specifically for this one. And now we're going to have a dictionary here. This is going to be some useful information for our Beautiful Soup library to use and help find the data. So we're going to have something called headers equals, and this is a new thing you probably haven't learned. This is called a dictionary, where you can assign multiple values, and it's similar to a list, but with multiple variables being assigned values inside of it. So we have to have something called our user agent here. So user dash agent, and then a colon. That's how we're gonna assign the value. And basically our user agent, we can figure this out by going to Google and typing in my user agent, and basically copy this and come back to Visual Studio, and then in quotations paste it here. So that's our user agent. You shouldn't be using mine because that's my user agent. You should be using your own user agent so that your web scraper will work. And then we also have to define the language that the web scraper is gonna accept or web scrape from. So we can just say accept dash language, and then colon, and then quotation mark. I'm going to be using English, and Amazon is the US Amazon is based off of English, so we're going to be using English here. And that's all we're going to do in this dictionary. And if this is confusing, don't worry, I will later on make a video about this. And now we have to actually go through all of the website's data, and if you don't know what HTML is, it's basically what they use to design the website and make the buttons and everything. So we have to figure out what's that the code that's making those buttons, everything, what's in the text, what's like the price, what's the what's making the title for the name of the product. So we have to go through all of the HTML to figure that out. So we're going to say R is requests. This is where our requests library come in. And we're going to say dot get URL, comma, headers equals headers. So basically this is gonna go into our URL and get the URL to use later. And now we have to parse all of it, which means like go through everything. This is the second part of this. We need to go through everything. So we have to do soup, we'll just name it soup, equals beautiful soup r.text. So this will read all the text from our website because the requests library here got all the text from our website and stored it in the variable r. Now we have to go look into the text here and parse through it and use the XML library to do all of this. So this is also going through all of our text here. And now we need to find the name of this product. So we can say name is equal to soup dot select and underscore 1. So we have to select 1. And then we're going to use the selector function equals quotations. So basically what this is we have to either put in the ID or class of this product. If you don't know what that is, that's basically an identification system in HTML, which will basically say like the ID of this tag or this line of code is, let's say, product name, so that later when you have to like change the color of the text there, you can use the product name instead of trying to find the specific tag in the HTML. So we're gonna find the specific tag for our product here for the name, and to basically get into the inspection to view the HTML, we have to double tap and hit inspect here. And if you're on a Mac, you can use F12. And basically we can highlight our name here. And let's actually inspect like that. We'll highlight it and inspect. And we see FIFA 21 Xbox One, right? And now we need to find the ID here. So we see ID is equal to product title. So we can copy that and get the product title. So this is the HTML ID here that would be used for other things in the HTML. And this helps us easily identify the name of this product here. So now let's go back to our Visual Studio and paste that in. But before we paste that in, since we're having an ID here, to let Soup know that this is an ID, we have to put in a hashtag here, specifying that this name is an ID. So we will paste our ID in here. And we don't want all of those spaces that we saw around the FIFA 21 here. There's a lot of spaces everywhere. So to get rid of that, we're just going to use .get text. So this will get only the text from that HTML. Now we're going to use the name equals name.strip. This is basically stripping it of anything unnecessary. And then we can print out name. Now, let's say we want to get the price of this, right? Then we can just do price is equal to soup dot select underscore 1, and then we have to use our selector thing again. So we can say selector equals quotation marks, and then we can go back to our Chrome tab and exit this inspect one for the title, and now Oop, let it load. We gotta inspect our price here. So highlight the price and then inspect. Let's give it a second, and there we go. It says the span ID equals price block our price. That's its ID here. So we can now come back to Visual Studio Code after copying it, and once again put the hashtag there, paste this, and now we should have the correct ID for our price, and we can print price. And if there is no errors, this should work here. You can run this. Let's let it run. And we have invalid syntax. Let's quickly go to our dictionary, and yep, I missed adding a comma here. You have to add a comma to let the Python know that there's another variable being assigned. And so that should have fixed our problem by adding that comma there. So now let's run it again. Let's give it a second here. And there we go. It prints out FIFA 21 Xbox One. And then it says a span price block, our price, $24.99. And that's because we forgot to put our get text here. That should solve that problem. And then when we run this should work here. There we go. It says FIFA 21 Xbox One, $24.99. And we can verify by going back to our link, and there we go. It says $24.99 and FIFA 21 Xbox One. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And if you like our content here, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers by the end of this month. So a sub would be great, and it encourages me to make more videos to help you guys with your journey on Python and programming. And thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Later.